Happy Monday, everyone. Welcome to the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix, or as old folk like me says, the San Marino Grand Prix, even though it's not in the country of San Marino, which I only found out probably in the year 2000, which I must say is quite shameful, considering the fact that I watched F1 for about 5 years prior to that, and I always thought it was in San Marino. So shocking stuff indeed. And even I thought that actually that of course it was in Ferrari's home backyard as well. So how did I think that it was in San Marino? I do not know, but I was young, dumb, and full of rum. Well, I hope I wasn't, but then again, who knows? Who knows? Because I think I was dropped on my yard a few times when I was younger as well. Also, happy ukulele day today. Then, of course, I hope you've all got your ukuleles out and ready to string a surprise. Spring a surprise? I do not know. But we do have a couple of returning faces in the Grand Prix here tonight, which is very cool stuff indeed. Whether it will be Groundhog Day for Flippy remains to be seen. We'll find out about that in just a jiffy, as I think we've got everyone in the lobby, which is good stuff for me because I can actually go back and do the drivers and the constructors standings then. Of course, also happy Groundhog Day as well, which is actually what I was meant to say, but I got ahead of myself as well. Of course, I think is it Groundhog Day in America? I do not know, but if it is, happy Groundhog Day, everyone. Flippy leads the championship by 18 points from Brabbit in second. Brabbit, though, is missing the next 2 weeks, sadly, because, of course, he is starting a new job. Shame on him. How dare he? Third position is Medi then on 57 points. Of course, felt hard done by, didn't he? Medi did. But still in a superb third position. And, of course, a new Grand Prix, one of our newer Grand Prix winners. Vilash in fourth position on 36 points. And his first retirement of his career last time out in Miami. Moto in fifth position on 25 points. One start, one win for Moto. He returns to the paddock here tonight. Julian in sixth position on 24 points, 22 points for Sweet, who's had a superb start to his season. Nameless on a great start as well then on 22 points, 17 for Kieran, 12 for Pease, 8 for Van Von, 4 for Equals, 2 for Chaza, and 1 for Legend or Legende, depending if you're talking to me or Mushroom. The qualifying has started behind me, but don't worry, folks, you have not missed anything just yet. In the Constructors' Championship, it is the Kick Sauber, been very much it's very grey and overcast behind us at the moment. It is the Kick Sauber leading the way, 4 points in front of Aston Martin in second position, and Alpine on third, 24 points adrift of the Kick Sauber team. Red Bull Racing are on 47 points, 10 points adrift of Alpine. McLaren on 21, 20 for Haas, Ferrari on 18, 12 for Mercedes, Williams on 3, and sadly Red Bull Racing Bulls are still yet to go off the mountain, but they do have Medi returning back to the paddock here tonight, which is all cool stuff indeed. Joint constructors, I've not ordered them, which is not very good. So 1 second, Alpine leads the way. Then they're 1 point in front of the Red Bull in second position. So close, isn't it? Fantastic. Third position is the Kick Sauber, Aston Martin on 168, 151 for McLaren, Ferrari on 138. 21 points away from the Ferrari is the Haas team then on 117, 69, nice, for Racing Bulls and Mercedes, and 45 points for the Williams team then, which is all cool stuff indeed then. But yes, we are here in the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix then. Of course, this circuit, it's got a lot of history beyond it. There's a lot of tragedy as well. Of course, how could forget the 1994 events and in that horrific weekend there where we lost Roland Ratzenberger and, of course, Ayrton Senna as well then. And that really was the driver behind a lot of the changes that we see today. Of course, the circuit's had a bit of a facelift though since then, of course, and we have one DRS set as well. Back then we didn't have any DRS set at all. It's a very short, sharp and a sprightly old track indeed, as the cars are now coming out on circuit, and I can't hear anything in my ear, which is either really good or really bad then. Either I've probably got a blocked ear, or I've got my thing on mute then, but let's pretend that I haven't got it on mute, shall we? Hello to everyone in the comment section as well. Great to have you along for the ride on this beautiful Monday afternoon. So, of course, one of the reasons why Racing Bulls haven't got any points on the board is because of this man here, Emerson, who has not lived up to the hype, has he? Goodness me, I'm very much firing all cylinders tonight there. Of course, I joked then, Emerson there, double world champion now. I think that this is his last race in Season 8 of HD HDE beforehand, before of course he went on to Pastors New then. So Emerson are kind of doing a full circle here tonight in the Racing Bulls. And of course the Racing Bulls home is in Faenza, which is only somewhere over yonder that way, I believe, or something like that. So just watching Emerson there, just flicking it down into the two Ravazzas now. So then 20 cars on circuit. Welcome back, Immortal. Welcome back, Savasta as well. Welcome back, Mad Max. Welcome back, Mayran as well. Great to have all the drivers back in the races. Absolutely great to see indeed. Then of course, more importantly, that they're safe, and secondly that they've got internet as well. Great stuff indeed. Here's Emerson then as he comes up then into the first chicane as well. I really should have remembered the corner names. I know the second corner name. Oh, Tamburello then for Emerson. Cut up into the Villeneuve chicane, which is of course not named after Jacques Villeneuve, but the legendary Gilles Villeneuve, the famous 427 there from over the years. And of course, of course you could just name some of the legends, some of the legendary races of Gilles Villeneuve, couldn't you really? And in such a short space of time, only a 6-time Grand Prix winner was Gilles Villeneuve, but goodness gracious me, he left an indelible mark on Formula One racing. Of course, at the Dutch Grand Prix in '79, I think it was, where he ripped off his rear suspension, trying to come back to the pits after a puncture. And I think, wasn't it 1980 or 1981 in Dijon, when him and, was it René Arnoux? Or was it René Arnoux in the Renault there, where they had a bit of a banging of wheels, didn't they? It was great stuff indeed. Of course, the closest we got to that in modern day F1 is Robert Kubica and Felipe Massa in the Japanese Grand Prix of 2007. Of course, that very wet day indeed there, where Lewis Hamilton won a superb race indeed. The two Hiltons are the first out on circuit, very reminiscent of the Schumacher brothers. Of course, Ayrton is second at the moment there, and the older Hilton, or the younger Hilton actually, is second fastest moment there. Markey has gone third at the moment there. Delando is in fourth, and Van Bont is currently pole position, but Sebastian, that's a McLaren off the circuit in the background. Who in the blue hell was that, I hear you ask? I do not know, because I wasn't paying much attention. Look at that. Sebastian to thread the eye of the needle there. Nameless goes second fast as well. Let me read the comments then as I lean forward and almost break me back. And also, I am very itchy for some reason, so that's not good, is it? Oh dear. Maybe I've got fleas. Across the line now comes Immortal, and of course Immortal, one last time we seen Immortal was in Australia. Flippy has had it all his own way though since Immortal has gone, but he has returned now, Immortal has said, and currently fast with Mayran second then, and two drivers then who will be hoping to score major points at this Grand Prix tonight. Nosey, let go gold then. Ultimate Beast, hello. Good evening there. Happy Groundhog Day, says Katie. I'm glad Katie has said it's Groundhog Day, because I must admit I thought I got the wrong day. But yes, indeed, happy Groundhog Day in America. And there's a film for Groundhog Day as well, isn't it? Where the film repeats, and it's the guy off of Ghostbusters. Oh gosh, I've forgotten his name. That is not good at all. So I'm going to be hung up by me old shoelaces. Bonjour, says Vintage Julian. Good luck, gold then. Immortal on PC, says Katie then with swirly eyes then. So that is a statement of intent. And here comes Sweet then. Sweet is one of the MVPs of this season so far. Percy goes into sixth position then. Of course, the world champion from season 9 now. We've got a teleportation car just in front of us there. Sweet then goes full fast and underline his credentials for this season. Flippy, who's out on second row, and then of course the championship leader is now going for broke. Did he make a mistake on that lap? Because his lap has not been completed by the looks of things, as he throws it into Tamburello now then, as we're on board with Flippy. I am expecting a lot of variation of weather this week. Whether that is going to be rain, whether that's going to be sunshine, we may even see a bit of snow. I doubt it, but you never know. But this part of the world, then, we do usually get a lot of rain, don't we, here in Emilia? Albeit the race is usually around the early spring, isn't it? Of course, this is the first European race of the season, where we start to get into the heart of the World Championship, don't we? So currently, as it stands at the moment, it is Flippy who's leading the championship there. But I think tonight there, this could very much be a statement of intent for the championship leader then. With Immortal coming back into the fray, I think that Flippy there will be very much there trying to really throw a curveball to Immortal Emerson, who was last season's runner-up and led the championship for about 90% of the season, didn't he? For Swift Ninja and swiftly Swift in there and took it from under Immortal's nose then. So Immortal will be out for redemption this season. Flippy goes third faster. I've seen in the paddock chat earlier on today around lunchtime before then I haven't seen my phone since, that there has been a lot of talk about Flippy's performance, and look at that Benny has gone fastest there by under a 10th of a second, 800ths of a second there so far. What about Village? Had a pretty horrific event in Miami. First DNF of his career now for Village, unfortunately, but of course driving the Ferrari now. Hopefully he hasn't got the Ferrari curse there. But on the Ferrari's homeland tonight, as well as racing balls, and fastest there for Village there. 13.5 for the Ferrari driver. These times are very quick out of the blocks. Then where am I? Evening all. Evening to you, Serious Mushroom. 16 Big Macs. I can't read the rest of it. Goodness me. Let me. Hang on. I'm going to just spam the chat. There we go. 16 Big Macs that have some dignity, Sean. Shocking stuff. How do you know what I've had for dinner? Absolutely disgusting stuff indeed. Have you been spoiled on me? To be fair, I would have had some. I think, did I go to KFC? No, I haven't been to KFC all year so far, albeit it's only been a month. To be honest, I am trying this seafood diet, but sadly, all I do is seafood. I eat it. Ha 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 ha. Serious Mushroom, I know, right? Back in your box, Mushroom. How dare you? Of course, we got Emerson there navigating into the final sector now. Let's take stock then. We're on lap. No, we're not. We're on qualified at the moment. Currently, no drop zones or anything like that in qualified. Emerson getting in the way of the Williams, and the Williams has gone off the circuit, and that is disgraceful behaviour from Emerson. And I hope that. I hope that Nolsey is watching this because that is surely a 5-place grid penalty if I've ever seen one. Maybe even a race ban then. Disgusting stuff indeed then. Here's a message that popped up on my messages. Oh, was it? I wonder who that could be. Just into the pits now comes Chatter. To be honest, I don't think Chatter is going to be on. I don't think Emerson's going to be on Chatter's Christmas card list. But luckily for Emerson, Christmas is about 11 months away. How dare I even talk about Christmas? As we haven't even got past February yet. It's 1st of February today, isn't it? Or 2nd, something like that. I do not know. As oh goodness gracious me, coming out. Is that Tozer? I think it is. I need to revise my corner names then. And this, you can tell, is a proper circuit, isn't it? We've got corner names, which is fantastic indeed. I love it. As now hop, skip, and a jump there. Emerson, they're taking liberties with the curve in there, but somehow it's got away with it. Great stuff indeed then. Mad Max is in 16th. I think Vestius has popped up into 17th position somewhere. Now then, Legends in 18th position then. So Emerson now still getting used to this new equipment there. He's almost feathered into the pit lane, but decides better of it. Across the line goes 14th fastest for Emerson there. Still outside of the 14s at the moment there. Mad Max had also returning to the fray as well, which is really cool stuff indeed. Sent you a message, Sean. Of course you did, Mushroom. Unfortunately, I was looking away, so was that the Big Macs, was it? Disgusting stuff indeed. How dare you make such vicious rumours about me? Hello to Camera Racer. Evening to you, good sir. Good luck, gold then. And nice to see Immortal back then. Really cool stuff indeed. I'm so slow these days, it's ridiculous then. And of course, Percy, like Emerson. Oh my gosh, I thought Mad Max was going off into the sea in the accident there. Goodness gracious me. That's gonna make a lot of other drivers a bit nervous seeing that. We'll see how this one transpires then, as we're just coming up in to what's this top chicane called? Could someone help me please? I've forgotten what they are. I could just Wikipedia it, but that's cheating, isn't it? And you guys got to do some of the work. Goodness gracious me. As now coming into the first of the two Ravazzas. Of course, after the second Ravazza, then of course we did have a chicane, didn't we? Which I used to love that chicane because on the old PlayStation games I used to be able to cut the corner and get away with it because that was before track limits existed then. Of course, if you want to see a absolute PI takeover track limits, just watch the Austrian qualifying session from 2003. Sweet There's invalidated his time as well. Sebasta up into 7th position at the moment. Nope, this is nameless in 7th. But goodness me, that back end is not very compliant. I know about that. Immortal is on pole position there. I think he is anyway, as coming into the line now. Immortal, no he isn't. Look at that, it's exactly the same time. Goodness gracious me. We've got a harass from 97, have we? All we need now is a Fredson-esque lap from Medi potentially to make it 3 cars up there. There's a lot of lag going on there, but I think so. That's going to make drivers a bit nervous. I think then can Medi there make it 3? Not quite there, but look at that. That's 300 of a second. My golly gosh, that's incredible indeed. Oh, I've got cramp. Sit down. Oh no, stand up. Yeah, 114 is slow. Jesus. The Variante Alta, thank you very much there. And then for the Shane, he rang me a minute ago, that's the problem. I must admit, though, I didn't know who he was. So Flippy's got pole position there with 5 minutes to go in this one there. And of course, Acro Minerales the chicane before, isn't it? Goodness gracious me. Of course, obviously you can tell I'm not very professional these days. But there we go. Right, where am I? Sorry, Sean, I'm struggling with gold races on Mondays. Woke up 3 hours late for work next day. Hee, says Equals. Don't worry about that, my good sir. I'm glad you've missed 2 in a row. I can't remember the last time you missed a race up until last week. Equals. Top 3 all in different postcodes there, says KD. Riley, good evening all. Make that 4. Absolutely. This is incredible stuff indeed then. So here comes Village now. Let's go on board the Ferrari. Look at that Ferrari there. He's really struggling there. Percy's out of qualifying then, so he is done in this qualifying session. His teammate though is trying to challenge pole position. Yes, he's done it. That's a pole position there. A 13-1 there as I punch myself in the nose with delight. That's incredible. Ultimate Beast, and last time Ultimate Beast raced in ALR was when he became the silver champion from a few seasons ago. This is his debut tonight in gold then. So Beast, and let's see how he does then for Beast, because I think his last race, official race anyway, was going for the gold, for the silver championship. Was it back in season 5 potentially? I do not know. He's currently 7th at the moment, is Ultimate Beast. Percy down in 11th position at the moment. On board now as we go to the Variante Alta, as KD told me then. I don't know why, I completely forgot about that. Then of course before that is goodness me, my Italian's gone. Anyway, here comes Romances. Potentially. As I now accelerated away, as as into the pits now comes Ultimate Beast. The barrier spazzed now and killed me. What? Oh, I used to love those barriers. I must admit, it did tickle me seeing a barrier get a bit glitchy. I must admit, the amount of times I got hit by those movable barriers, but no one believed me because I got DNF'd in Japan in bronze a few seasons ago, and Knowlesy thought that I drove into the barrier when I must contest I did not drive into the barrier drove into me. So there we go then. Wish Prime Emma, Percy and Troy was on it. That says Equal said very much it's a new era now. Is the here comes Ayrton coming out of the Variante Alta, and now down the hill as well. Maybe I should have done my research tonight, but there you go. Now, prepare to fail, fail to prepare. Now here it comes out to the Kick Sauber. The last time we're going to see Kick Sauber, also Sauber team, Sauber name on the Formula 1 grid. That is, he abandons his time, comes into the pit lane. Ayrton's ashamed of me for getting my corner names wrong. Then Mad Max 34 to the second up in the first split time. Coming out of Toza, I think it is, and into the Acro Minerale. I love that corner. And now get back up the hill there as well. And goodness gracious me, the car gets very floaty at that part of the circuit, doesn't it? And this is a real circuit. It really is indeed. It's going to be difficult to overtake around here because of these cars are almost as wide as my rear posterior. But even so, that qualifying around here is probably the biggest joy that these drivers are going to have for most of the season. It's absolutely fantastic. Indeed, then. Here we go, a barrier gate from Sean. I've got the footage. Across the line, Mad Max goes 12 passes. I don't think I have the footage, to be honest. Ironically, I didn't stream that time, but there we go. So Van Von has abandoned his time for Van Von. So Mortal is currently 2/10 of a second up in the first split tires. It comes out of the Villeneuve at chicane, as I think he's abandoned this time as I was going to say Villeneuve, has a Mortal. Goodness gracious me. And of course, I do mean the Gilles Villeneuve. But having said that, as much as Jacques Villeneuve is probably not very liked in these part of the world, he's saying, it was still quite impressive how Villeneuve, of course, won the championship in '97, albeit very controversially as well, didn't he? Well, mainly for the other part of that two-way battle for the world championship with Michael Schumacher driving into the side of the Williams there, and of course that was also the first win of Mika Hakkinen, albeit it was kind of given to him, wasn't it, by Jacques Villeneuve, and also Coulthard let him through as well. But to be fair to Hakkinen then, he could have and should have won the Luxembourg Grand Prix. I think it was the European Grand Prix in '97, wasn't it? The European Grand Prix, possibly could have won Austria as well before he DNF'd on the opening lap there. In that fantastic '97 Austrian Grand Prix. I suggest you watch that if you can, if you've got a spare minute, which I doubt you have because you've all got lives and I don't, but I love it. Kieran Sandbag F1 says, Equal said, Barry Arden, Beast has turned up then. That Red Bull is dirty. Clean it up, says KD. Absolutely. A dirty car. Yes. Coming across the line as a sweet lap there. Average 2-6 position. How long's left of this qualifying session? I need a clock. Beast is a quarter of a second up. The checker flag has fallen. Ayrton is still in the garage. I think that is Ayrton coming out the pits now. No, it isn't. It's sweet then. But Mayran stays 7th position there. But of course, Mayran and Emerson has got a lot to do in this race. If they want the racing balls to be to get some points in. I'm just taking a look there. Many across the line. 2/10 a second. It's second on the grid. Then it's on the front row of the grid. What about Flippy? Flippy's invalidated. Good heavens above. That could be costly for the the win here tonight, because pole position I think is going to be a major factor here in this one. I'm looking for a Haas of Vesser 14th. That's some mega stuff indeed there. What about the second Ferrari? And it's still pole position for Village at the moment there. Alpine has come across the line now. I think that was someone else there. Great commentary, Sean. Absolutely very much on the mark there. B stays 8th position in the end. He's on the 4th row of the grid here in this one. Ultimate, sadly for Morty is finished in this one. What about Delano? Delano once again in a superb 12th position there. Chaz has abandoned his time. Kieran hasn't. Kieran's down in 18th position there. He is being upstaged there by his teammate. Not anymore. He's equaled his teammate and it's on the 5th row of the grid. It's on McLaren row 5. But it is pole position number 1 of his career for the Ferrari of Villasar. Superb as this stuff indeed, and what a way to do it on Ferrari's backyard. He is on pole position for the Ferrari. Mega job indeed there. Superlative stuff there, and mega job indeed then. And as you can tell, I am trying to update my spreadsheet whilst commentate, which is not a good thing to do because I'm a typical bloke. I can't do 2 things at once, unfortunately. So, in only his 5th qualifying of his career, Village is on pole position by 34 hundredths of a second there. I could do a lot in that time. Well, actually, maybe not. But even so, Village had pole position 34 hundredths second from Medi on the front row. Flippy, the championship leader, is in third, and he's out-qualified a mortal who returns to the circuit here tonight there. So that's already a statement of intent there. Remember that Flippy had a coming together when he made his full-blown debut in ALR Silver, I think. Now, I can't remember. Was it with no? I think it was Mayran, wasn't it? And I'm hoping that he's got his thumbnail sorted for that tonight as well. Sam's missing out there. We've also got from Equal said, Camaro, good lap from Sweet then. Sweet lap then. Sweet with a sweet lap, says Katie as well. Thank you very much for joining us on this lovely sunny afternoon here in the Emilia Romagna region, here in Imola then. Of course, we're situated very close to Faenza, of course, the home of the Racing Bulls, and hopefully for the Racing Bulls fan club that they will get some points on the board. So pressure for Medi. Pressure for Mayran, pressure for Emerson as well there. Both drivers are yet to get off the mark then, so there's pressure cooker. stone a cooker, you could eat 16 burgers in that time, it says Serious Worship. I used to. I can't anymore because I get real bad indigestion. But I think it's because me pipe. What's it? What do I? Yeah, whatever I swallow with it goes down in this pipe. It's a bit curvy these days. I think it's my belly because all of a sudden I think my intestines go around my stomach and then out the other end. Anyway, no to this biology stuff tonight. Then on with the show. Then of course extra garages, which is great stuff for the Cadillac team, which is joining us on the grid next season. Which I cannot wait for season 15 of ALR. And of course, it'll be interesting to know who will be in the Cadillac. And of course, Cadillac are releasing their livery this Sunday for... Is it the Super Bowl? I cannot wait. That's one of my favourite liveries. One of my liveries I'm really looking forward to. Williams launching their livery tomorrow. Hopefully they got a car, though, as they missed a shakedown, didn't they, last week? Which wasn't very good indeed, then. Same to you, Mushroom. I think he's just sworn at me in the comments, shock and stuff. Indeed. 13-1 is phenomenal, says Camera Racer. By the way, if any of you wrestling fans out there are very depressed, and of course, talking of phenomenal, sadly, AJ Styles is no longer a wrestler, which is very sad stuff indeed. That's what I was doing Saturday night. I was watching men in pants trying to lever each other over the top rope. Villash, pole position #1 of his career for himself, and the first one for Ferrari this season. Of course, what a way to get your first pole position. Magnificent stuff indeed. Mehdi is alongside him on the front row. Mehdi, of course, a Grand Prix winner in Saudi Arabia. Very unlucky in Miami. Of course, we heard about his comments after the race where he of course had a 5-place grid penalty, which is unfairly put on him, which cost him the race potentially. Flippy in third position there. Flippy now 2 wins out of the first 4 races there for Flippy, and now he's got a teammate Savasta going to score points as well. So Aston Martin going to be on the up, I think there. Now we have got Immortal in 4th position. Let me get me box up. There we go. Immortal in 4th position making his return. 5th position there for Van Bon with Sweet in 6th. Mayran in 7th with Nameless in 8th position. Beast in 9th with Kieran in 10th. Marky in 11th position. Sebastian making his first appearance of the season in 12th position there. Goodness me, they've already finished the formation lap. Delando in a superb 13th again. Delando is on and up at the moment. He's doing a great job. But as Percy, as we've heard in the comment section, on a downer is the former champion. Mad Max is the only driver on the hard compound tyres there, throwing a curveball. 16th position is Vessier. 17th is the 2 Williams drivers of Legends and Chaza. Emerson and Ayrton completes the final rows, and all Hilton, row 10 on the grid then. 20 cars line up on the grid now. Mushroom to win the Royal Rumble. Off to make a cuppa. Is that coffee or tea? Is what I want to know. We're on board with 5th position here, and that's probably the worst time to go for a coffee. Is that, of course, you want to watch the start. So we're just watching. But then again, Mushroom does throws caution to the wind. 5 lights are off, and we are going to Emilia Romagna, and that's a cracking start from Mehdi. He takes the lead of the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. They come across each other. Have they all gone away safe and sound? Yes, they have them. There's a lot of ghost in there, but Mehdi leads. Flippy leads, and there's debris off one of the cars. Mehdi, Flippy leads. No, he doesn't. They're ghosts as they go into the field of chicane. Off the circuit is one of this Nameless. It's lost the whole of the wing section there. Ooh, as we come into Toza. No, I don't know what it is. Alan now, and there's Mehdi's down for his second finish there as they go side by side. Remember Montoya and Schumacher in the 2004 race around here. But unlike Schumacher, he was given room. There was Mehdi, and Villas there is down into 3rd position. Van Von in 4th position with Immortal down into 5th. Sweet in 6th with B 7th. Mehdi in 8th position. 9th Delando. What a superb start for Delando. He's at 4th position on Megastar. Emerson at 4th position as well. Marky, Kieran and Nameless have come to blows somewhere, and all of them are limping. Nameless without front nose cone. Kieran without front wing as well. It's a horror show start there for those 2 drivers, unfortunately. Oh dear, oh dear. Filipino is leading the race out, of course. Down in 3rd position on the grid then, but my goodness me, he didn't need pole position. And look at this, lap 1 complete. Look at the gap there. It's about 5/10 of a second now. DRS will be enabled on this lap now, so this is where we're going to get very interesting. Remember, of course, that there's only one DRS zone around here, and that is down into the Tamburello chicane. Why are they ghosting for so long, says Camarisa? I don't know, to be honest. I personally I know the admins are going to boo me out of the commentary box here. Personally, as into the pits, there's Kieran now onto the hard compound tyres out for the McLaren team, and also the beautiful white Red Bull also on the hot, is that medium tyres? It is indeed for Nameless. Those two drivers are going to need a safety car to get themselves back into this one now. As the two hill turns are going side by side, and Ayrton on the outside, and he is past Emerson there. Goodness gracious me, as the older one has overtaken the younger one there. Goodness me, as the apprentice has become the master. Flippy leads this Grand Prix. As I was saying, Cameron, I think that I'd rather Ghost and turned off personally, but that's just me. But I'm a brutal so-and-so, because I do think that sometimes ghosting is a bit too extreme on this game. And as you said now, the drivers are just driving through each other there. I know that they're all still in the race. They're all still pointing bits are pointing in the right direction, which of course is something I really wish would happen in my life as well, but my bits point everywhere. Lap 2 completed, as look at that, Medi is actually under pressure from the Ferrari of Village rather than the other way around, as Flippy is punching a big hole in the air now. Van Von is already out of DRS range, so that's going to be painful indeed. Mortal's also going to have to get past the Haas driver as quickly as possible here, so this is going to get very interesting indeed then, as I've said interest a lot of times in this race already. Of course, now going out of Dozer. Does Flippy race in the Creator League, says Ruthless. I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't really watch it. I think I watched Run Race though, where there's a guy that I really like watching. That sounds odd, doesn't it? There's a guy I really like watching, a guy called James Early there, but he plays more retro games rather than as Emerson has got past Ayrton there, as Ayrton a horrific amount of understeer, and that's going to encourage Marky to have a go on the kicks over then. Is Ayrton going to slam the door shut? Absolutely not. Ayrton's a gentleman, unlike his brother, and he is through and up into 17th position there. Ayrton dropping down into 18th there. I watched a guy called James Urry who plays a lot of retros. That's why I got into Formula Challenge, to be honest. But he got taken out in Azerbaijan, and I kind of gave up. Medi takes the lead, then gets past Flippy, and now we've got Mortal also past Van Von as well. Van Von's under pressure, Sweet contact. Remember that Sweet there didn't score last time out, did he, in Miami? And now the Ultimate Beast is all over the gearbox, and Beast is through and up into 6th position. Yes, he's done it, and he is through. And yellow flag, so there's a problem in the background. Emerson is visiting the scenery, as Delano is has lost out to the Aston Martin Safasta, who's into the top 10 here. Incredible action then so far, and I forgot to take my jumper off, which is a cardinal sin there in the commentary box. So it's going to be hot and heavy in this one. Kieran is trying to pass on the right side. Kieran and Nameless probably need a safety car to get back in this one there. Safety cars, I think, are going to be quite paramount in this one, because of course the barriers are so close. Look at how close the barriers are up here. As you can see, as Marky's got a 3-second penalty there. Let's take a look at the entire strategy out there at the moment. So he's still got only hard tires for Mad Max, who started on those hard tires, and then of course we have Kieran, who's also switched to the hard tires as well. As I got a notification from Netflix. Fantastic. I forgot to cancel it. Sweet then, who of course was he roughed house in the last time around here? Potentially. Let's take a look at the front then, because Flippy's retaken the lead, as Village just keeping an eye on the proceedings there. Van Von is struggling for pace out there with Beast, Sweet, Mayran, Percy, Savasta, Delano, Versier, Mad Max, and Legends, all very much in DRS. Look at this conga line now. Goodness gracious me. As now flying underneath us now, Beast currently is leading this one. Sorry, not Beast. It is Van Von leading this one. Van Von is struggling out there. This has been very difficult indeed. Has there been a safety car in any of the races this season in all the leagues? And there was a safety car in silver. I think that we also had a safety car in gold. Did we have a safety car in gold in China? Was it? No, I think we had a VSC in China. I can't remember, to be honest. I'm getting old, you see. Goodness me. I can barely remember what I had for lunchtime, which I got to say is the biggest, which is the... oh, what's happened? We've got problems for Marky. who is just lost out there, but I think he's still on the straight and narrow just about. I can't remember what I had for dinner, and that's the biggest achievement of my week so far. What's happened, says Serious Mushroom. Well, currently Flippy leads the race after a storming start, with Village now down in third position, with Medi in second position there. All as Beast is through. What about Sweet? Oh my goodness gracious me. The Tamburello chicane there very much squeezes you, doesn't it? It's not an easy overtake on this track. It's so narrow, especially for these modern Formula 1 machines. They're monsters around here. They really are indeed. But Morto is now caught right up to the back of the top three, as pace behind him is they're really struggling there. But look at this, Beast is absolutely flying away from Van Von. Van Von is a mobile chicane out there at the moment. Two safety cars and Gold says Camera Racer, potentially. Was it two safety cars in Australia? Oh gosh, that is shocking stuff. That was only 5 weeks ago. Goodness gracious me, what's going on? Gosh, 16 burgers that you had, says Serge Bishop. Thank you. But that was, of course, from KFC, so that was I'm not really a McDonald's fan, to be honest. I must admit, though, I would like to have a Burger King burger, because they are pretty OG. I haven't had a Burger King in absolute yonks there. So I need to put that right in the next few days or so. Flippy still leads the way then, but now Flippy is going to come under the cosh, so to speak, then. From Medi, then, as Medi is gaining. Then we got Village, then we got a Mortals while they're just sitting there. But just I say that, here comes Beast then. No, looks like Van Von trying to go on the outside then. Van Von has gone into the back of the McLaren. There's debris on the Haas. He's gone off the Haas there. And did Van Von misjudge that, or did Beast brake too early? I think that Van Von maybe have misjudged that, says this guy from the chair. But then again, that the debris not from the Haas car. Where's that debris come from? Let's take a look. Is it from Percy? There's a car without an end plate, I think. Then someone has lost a bit of end plate, and oh no, it's May Run. Then the race with balls can't buy luck at the moment. So yes, that's unfortunate. I think the Medi must have got into the back there, and that is unfortunate indeed. Serious Mushroom hates this track, which you better not say too loud, because of course he drives for the Scuderia this season. So the fans may boo him off the circuit if he says that too loud. But then again, he may like Monza better. That damage there is going to be really costly. Markey really struggling out there at the moment. And Markey is having a bit of a nightmare race so far. Markey? He hasn't finished the race since the Chinese Grand Prix a couple of weeks ago. Mayran getting a 3-second penalty as well. That was a bit harsh, wasn't it? I'm sure he went wide. He's going to lose a lot of time. Then Percy's had to get by as Mayran is going to have to think about coming to the pit surely. But how early can he go? The pit's on the inside. Sweet forces the Medi off the circuit. There's contact again, and was Mayran? Oh, Mayran's in the wall, and I've screamed my rear off there, and that's debris. And sadly for the racing ball, has been beaten up black and blue after that. As that was getting all kinds of messy in the last 2 laps there. Medi has lost all of the end plates there, and dear me, Medi is not having a great return to form, is he? He has the pace, as Medi, but he gets involved in all kinds of shenanigans. And once again, no safety car. Which I think a lot of drivers would be praying out there for safety cars, wouldn't they? As coming up to this battle once again then. I'm not really sure what to make of that then, whether that was once again ghosting or not, which kind of caused that potential. I do not know. I've got to point towards ghosting then, because it's one of my pet hates of this game, personally. Along with a lot of other things as well. But I think the ghost is far too long, as someone mentioned in the comment section. I like Monza. Welcome back at Mayran off, says Serious Pressure. That's gold, says Camera Racer. I'm not sure if that's a pun or not. Here comes the faster now, all of the back of a Sweet on the grass through and up into 7th position there. As of course, that is something what Bottas could do a few seasons ago around here in 2021 when Bottas and the man who replaces Bottas, George Russell, crashed into each other. Serious Russian, the safety car needs to turn it up. I'm going to say that, of course I will, because of course I'm a fan of safety cars. Of course, safety cars breed safety cars, which makes which makes racing more interesting then. Ruthless said this game is so glitchy when it comes to safety cars and lack of them. Love a safety car, me. I do as well. More action for me personally. Mayran is into the pits now, back at the front. So the gap is 6 seconds between the top four and the rest of the field at the moment. The field has been spread out by all that anarchy behind then, which has now meant that Beast is now 6 seconds behind. Percy is within DRS of Beast. Can he keep up there? Percy was lambasting his pace early on in this race there, but he's in 6th now, so that's not bad at all. Both roars are looking good. Then we got Savasta 2 seconds back. Then we got Sweet followed by Delano, doing a great job again. Delano, his Vestier's looking hot, isn't he, as well, in 10th position. Mega stuff indeed. Mad Max in 11th there with 12th for Van Von, who's into the pits then after all that kind of stuff, Ben. And now going back to the front here. So Van Von is into the pits now. Can we catch the Haas car? Yes, he's into the pits. Is that going to be a wing change? No, it's not, but it's certainly a tyre change for Van Von. I wonder if Van Von is just struggling with tyre wear. That Haas car is really struggling for pace in the early stages. Or maybe it was Van Von trying to pace himself there, but unfortunately when he was pacing himself there, the drivers are all over him like a bad rash there. But Van Von is now out in 17th position there, getting in front of Kieran, who's done a good job actually there. He's got some pace out there, Kieran, as on those hard tyres. Nameless was also on the medium tyres one, but the medium tyres might be faded. So we got a couple of penalties out there. The top 10 have not got penalties just yet, as Flippy is trying to extend his lead over Medi Village, and then Immortal has now joined the party as well. Has joined the fray. Oh, on board and Flippy now is at the top of the hill. You can see then there's look at that, and look at how less steering input they've got then. Of course, they're not on qualifying laps anymore. This is all about nursing the cars, is this, because of course we're in race trip now, and all the way through the years of Formula, the drivers are always nursing something or other, aren't they? Whether that is gearboxes, whether that is tyres, whether that is trying to save fuel, of course, that's what the drivers are. They are management of some kind. Today, they're management of the tyres, and in this a very hot, as we got overtakes there, as Sweet is up into 7th position. Percy has got past Beast, and Percy's up into 5th there. He's driving superbly well here tonight. Fantastic indeed. I got a really bad itch on the inside of my nose then. I'm not going to pick it. Oh, Van Von's got a 3-second penalty for his troubles as well. I think that's going to be a lot of frustration in the Haas car. Once again, it's got good pace in that Haas car, but not able to show it in the race trim, is it? Don't think Silver's had one. Just a couple of VSCs, to be honest, but I think it's because of the lack of big instances, KD. Yeah, Silver has been very competitive, but yeah, no instance at all in Silver. Very good stuff indeed, that, as far as I'm aware anyway. But even though I've been commentating on it, I can't remember, to be honest. That's quite scary indeed. I'm getting too old then. So just having a debate on the safety car situation. And so we should turn it up surely, said Ruthless. Not my decision, said Serious Busher. Serious Busher on the fence on this one there. Into the pits comes the last season's runner for Mortal then. He's looking for his Red Bull mechanics. There they are. He stops on his marks, and that's hard turns going on for the Red Bull team then. And in and out, shaking all about then. And where's he going to come out then? Of course, there is a very difficult track to overtake him then. So you got to think about the clean air in this one. And I think that Immortal is going to have a lot of clear air. That is perfect there for Immortal. If he picked up his car and put it somewhere on the circuit, he would have put it here. Having said that, am I going to take that back? Because here comes Marky flying down into turn 1. But Immortal has done that to perfection. Oh, what's that? That's the Vessier off the circuit. He's had a superb start to this one. Has there been contact somewhere, or was Vessier done a Sonoda? I do not know, but there's a lot of dirt on those tyres of Vessier, and that's a lot of time that he's going to have to make up in this one. That's a shame, because Vessier's driving superbly well out there today. I'm going to get me book in a minute and see where is his best result. Beast is catching like a beast, says Serious Russian. Where is Beast? He's up in 5th position now. There's a bit of Flippy there. So there's a bit of I don't know what I'm trying to say, to be honest. A bit of bluffing, that's what I'm trying to say, from Flippy, and he's now out of DRS range of the pole center village. Into the pits comes the Alpine, and you can see stopping on his marks. Beautiful choreography there from the Alpine team, and back out there. Last season they're going to be powered by Renault this season before they go to Mercedes. So what's the point point of being a works team. But then again, the Christian Order might be swooping in there to call it horny racing. Out of the pits now comes Medi. Just watching Mad Max, and who's now got a clean bill of health. There's the motor. There's the motor breezes past, and the undercut has been perfection there. I wonder if the drivers behind have been caught napping. That one lap older tyres, I don't think it's going to be a major benefit in this one. Don't record me saying that, though, because that will come back to bite me on the rear. Legende in second finish there. There's Percy, Van Von, and then Beast as well. And the pit stops are very much well underway now. Kieran there is finally can see the back end of the Crocodile, but down in 13th position, unfortunately. Marky in the pits there. Emerson in the pits as well. Ayrton came in the pits last up and is now undercut both from Vessier. That's such a shame for Vessier, because I think he was on course for a top 10 finish. Flippy has stayed out, but he's in the pits now. So is the pole sitter Village said. But oh, goodness me, just about slowing the Ferrari down then. We're looking for the Aston Martin mechanics, and of course, Aston Martin on the team to beat at the moment. Ayrton's got a 3-second penalty. Shameful. Into the pits now. Hard tyres going on then. Oh, was that a slow stop there from the Aston Martin? I think that was a bit sluggish, but he is away just in front of Village there. But the gap is shrunken quite considerably. Sweet is coming out the pits now. There's a motor, and Mad Max takes the lead. I'm looking at this one. Medi is through, flies past, and there's Slippy, and Medi is the de facto lead of this Grand Prix. Medi takes the de facto lead, not the lead yet though, as what's happened behind us. Percy's through, passes Legende as well. Van Von is also underneath the gearbox of the Williams driver, who is on the medium compound tyres out there. Emerson's also got a 3-second penalty as well. Like brother. Van Von is just behind at Legende in a position. So the gap is 2.5 seconds. There is Flippy's target. It's a motor. A motor has missed the last couple of races then, but goodness me, he's come back, and it looks like that he hasn't missed a step as the Australian Grand Prix winner, but he's keeping Medi very much on his toes. Mad Max is the only driver not to start in the medium tyres, leads this Grand Prix. Is the only driver, not to start in the medium tyres, so he leads this Grand Prix at the moment there. Is he going to be a factor in this one there? There is Mad Max. We're on board at the Mercedes rear wing now. In behind us is Medi. Then we got a motor as well. And then we have Flippy. And then we have the Ferrari and the pole sitter there. Mad Max there is already going defensive. Of course, those old tyres there are not going to be able to do much in terms of defending there. He's lost out already. Can a motor? No, he's dropped quite far back actually there. So a motor's not going to challenge for the lead on this point of the circuit. And Flippy has gained a second on that lap. Impressive stuff indeed there. Here's Beast then. Where is Beast? There he is, and he's underneath the Williams rear wing then. He's up the inside. And Legends keeping 7th, 8th position there. Great stuff indeed there. Perfection. What about Chaza through number 2, 14th position now. And Medi there with that wing change. Only 5 extra seconds in the pit lane because of what's happened? Oh no! As we got yellow flag somewhere, and was that Legends going off the circuit potential? Just see the yellow flag very briefly for someone, and I just assumed it was Legends there, so I apologise if that's not right. Medi came in the pits there, threw on a Medi. I keep getting the names the wrong way around. Mayran came in the pits there for the racing ball. And he put on a new front nose cone. We're only after this in this race, and so these hard tyres go a very long way in this race, and whether they can get to the end or not remains to be seen. So we'll keep an eye on this one. Flippy's all over the gearbox of Mad Max there. And Mad Max there, of course, he's not going to be able to defend this one there. Mad Max in a different race compared to these drivers. And look at Village then, trying to get a slipstream on a bit of DRS as well. But Flippy there did have DRS off the back of Mad Max. So next time around, Village should be hoping that there's no DRS there from Flippy's point of view. And he can really start to home in on the championship leader in this one. Of course, last time around then, that was the first time that Village retired from a race in his ALR Formula 1 career, which is pretty impressive stuff indeed there for the Ferrari driver. Again, pole position here tonight then was Village there. His first pole position of his career in a Grand Prix racing there. And he would like to at least finish off the podium, but I'm sure that the Ferrari fans, the Scuderia, and of course the Tifosi would like to see a Grand Prix win for the Scarlet Cars. Whether that's for Village, whether that's for Percy remains to be seen there. And Village unfortunately got a 3-second penalty because of the commentator, which is shocking stuff indeed there. My name is Alex Knowlesy. Just watching Immortal now homing in on Medi. Of course, Medi has scored in every single race so far then, but in the last 3 races there, he's been on the podium. He's had 2 thirds and a first position as Medi. I thought he was going in the pits, and that really would have thrown me a curveball. But there's Immortal then. Philippius set the fast on the race there, underlining his pace, and he's out of DRS range of Village already. Impressive stuff indeed there. What about Delano, who is driving absolutely in the last 2 races? Delano has been a completely different driver, hasn't he? We're seeing flashes of his pace and performance, and incredible pace from Bronze a few seasons ago. And Delano is now in 9th position, and he does have DRS there, thanks to Mad Max. So Delano currently in 9th position, driving superbly well, and he's now in the heart of the midfield. Great stuff. Savasta in 10th position with Sweet in 11th. Sweet has dropped down a few positions there, unfortunately, and is outside the points as it stands as well. So he's got some overtaking to do as Sweet in the Kick Sauber. And unfortunately, the Constructors' Championship leaders, of course, Brabham not racing tonight, and Sweet out of the points there. This could mean that Aston Martin could take the lead in the Constructors' Championship after this one. Oof, goodness gracious me. Right, let me get rid of all these. Notifications, shall we? So I can actually see what's going on my phone. So currently at the moment, then Immortal, then just over half this in this Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Remember, next week we've got another mystery race, which I think is Monaco, Spain, and Canada. I think it is. If I've got that right, then I think I deserve a race, and maybe a Cadbury's cream egg potentially, because that was very much I pulled that out of my rear posterior. Immortal then, who is looking at the back of Medi's posterior then, of course, he would like to be in front of the Alpine driver. Whether he wants to be in front of Medi at the moment, though, is a different matter entirely. Of course, you will be punching a hole in the air if you lead this race, and you'll be dragging the car behind along, which might be what Immortal's just sat there doing, very happy sitting behind Medi then. But Medi is going for a 2nd Grand Prix win of his career. Of course, the 2nd Grand Prix of the season as well, and if he can win it here tonight, of course, but there is still a long way to go in this one. Then we're over just half distance then, as I've always seen someone swap positions there, but Percy and that Mad Max are very close to the back of each other. The Mad Max is still out on circle. I thought we went in the pits actually. And Sean, you need to focus, my good sir. My word. Just watching Delano, Savasta and Sweet then all battling from 9th, 10th and 11th position there. The 2 positions in front of us are for points, and Sweet is currently not in the points, but remember that, of course, Sweet then does not have a penalty. Penalties, I think, are going to be a crucial factor in the outcome of this Grand Prix. Village has a penalty, but currently is more than 3 seconds in front of his teammate Lucas Percy, the world champion season 9, of course. And everyone is, big lock up there from Savasta. And currently, once again, everyone is circulating the circuit then. In terms of DNFs this season then, we have only had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 DNFs there, 2 for Percy, and then we have only had one for the other 4 drivers. That's pretty impressive in terms of getting to the end of the races there. Personally, of course, I reckon we should bring back the days where, of course, where it was very much a endurance Grand Prix in F1 there, where, of course, getting to the end was a reward, wasn't it, entirely? Of course, I'm not saying give everyone points, but I'm saying bring back unreliability. Hopefully we'll have more unreliability in F1 2026 then, hopefully. But having said that, looking at the shakedown last week, looking at the shakedown last week, there was some impressive laps. I think Mercedes did 500 laps. The only team that didn't do many laps was the Aston Martin team, but Aston Martin does look quite beastly, doesn't it, in terms of what it looks like. But of course, whether it looks fast and goes fast, there's 2 different kettles of fish. And of course, I remember the 2022 Mercedes looking pretty phenomenal with their zero side pod concept, but that didn't go very well at all. Albeit they did win a couple of races that season, didn't they? So if Aston Martin wins a couple of races this season, I say that's job done. I'm going to look on the inside there. No dice at the moment. As Mad Max is finally in the pit, so with 12 laps to go then. So trying to get as short stint as possible on those medium tyres for Mad Max. So Mad Max has now got a lot of overtaking to do. And the reason why I think only Mad Max has gone for an alternative strategy is it is so difficult to overtake on this circuit. Well, as I say that, Sweet has really put me in the, oh my word. And they're side by side going for Tamburello as Sweet is through, almost contact between the 2 cars, but Sweet is up to 9th position. Sweet has proven me wrong there, hasn't he? Goodness me, I need to get in the bin after that. Sweet have a 2-9 position. I was saying it's very difficult to overtake on this circuit. Mad Max is down in 15th position. He's got a lot of cars to overtake to get back into the points. But let's see what Mad Max could do. He was on pole position last night in the event league, so he does have some pace, even if it was a different circuit. So back at the front, the top 4 have now really condensed up to each other with 12 laps to go. Whether that is the lack of pace from the race leaders, or whether that is the race leaders just looking after those tyres or not, it's going to be remain to be seen until the end of this one. If Sweet gets a pen now, I'm telling him, says Serious Russia. Damn you, absolute damn you, Squire. Goodness gracious me. Snitches, what's that saying then, of course, snitches get stitches or something like that. Goodness me. To be honest, I haven't said that. I think Serious Mushroom will give me a couple of stitches there. But I do bruises easily, Mushroom, and I'm very much an orange. I am that annoying orange as well. I remember those videos from the early 2010s. What's happened? And that's a safety car, and Van Von has done a Giancarlo Fisichella. He's crashed at Tamburello. Remember, Fisichella crashed there in the 2005 San Marino Grand Prix, which was his third non-finish in a row for Fisichella. And for Van Von, that's his second DNF of the season, and that is a safety car. Now, this is going to get interesting. I'm not sure if Mad Max is going to be too happy with that. And the 2 Hiltons are in the pits there. So our first retirement of the race then. I don't think anyone's been lapped then, but you've got to be careful then as Ayrton's in the pits now. I don't think these drivers are going to get lapped then. Let's see. There's a long pit lane in this one, is there, which is why you want to stay on a one stop. Nameless has stayed out there because Nameless doesn't want to get lapped. Can Ayrton get out in front? And what is Medi going to do? Medi stays out. Immortal stays out. It's not a safety car, it's a VSC. Goodness gracious me. I thought I seen a yellow dot on the map. I apologise. All in, says Serious Mushroom. As we've got lapped cars and yellow flags said as Van Von is out of the race and there's a top 4. I'm now going once again. It's not a safety car, it's a VS. It is a VSC. I thought it was a safety car, to be honest. Maybe because I thought a safety car was going to really throw a curveball in this one. Van Von out of the race, his second retirement of the season. It's been a difficult start to the season for Van Von. With such a shortened season, only 17 rounds in this season. I say only 17. Of course, back in the early 2017 was a full season of Formula One, wasn't it? Is that the Senna War? Says Serious Russian. Yeah, sadly it is. Yeah, we had Ayrton Senna crashed there in '94 as well. Gerhard Berger also crashed there in 1988 or 89 in this Ferrari. Which is quite a scary incident, actually, because, of course, I think his Ferrari caught a light, which was, Sweet! He is through! And he's having to 7th position, getting past Delano, who's got the penalty for that, and Sebastian now in 9th position as well. And Mayran is now in the top 10, but look at Chazza! Chazza, once again, the Williams team are scoring points every time there's a sniff of it. And Chazza and Legends is doing a great job for that Williams team. They're very much picking up points here and there, which is going to be crucial for the outcome of this Constructors' Championship. Whether the drivers care or not remains to be seen there. How can that be a VSC? He died. Goodness me. Good gosh. I don't think there was VSCs back in the day. There was a safety car, though, wasn't there? In that Grand Prix. That weekend was just a cursed weekend, wasn't there? With Barrichello, Roland Ratzenberger, and Ayrton Senna. And of course, we also had JJ Leto as well stalling on the grid. And was it JJ Leto that drove into the back of Pedro Lamy, or the other way around? It was quite horrific stuff indeed. Now we got Mad Max getting past Kieran out on those fresher tyres. Legends has got past Markey as well. I'm going to be honest, I kind of hope that the drivers that came to the pits didn't come to the pits because they heard me say safety car, but I'm in major trouble. I really am indeed. Roland Ratzenberger on my birthday. Also, I remember it well, says Serious Mushroom, of course, in qualifying, wasn't it? Of course, Roland Ratzenberger driving the Simtech. Awful weekend. It really was. Just watching Flippy then, who is now in DRS range of Immortal. He's also in DRS range of Medi. And look at how close these top three are getting. Village has been dropped ever so slightly. Are you a May baby? Are you serious, Mushroom? I've only just dawned on me. Me and Mushroom share the same month of birthdays. Goodness gracious me. That's only legends are born in May. Absolutely. And it's summertime as well, isn't it? Unlike these January babies, nosy. And I think Dan Murphy, of course, is also a January baby as well. Goodness gracious me. I think I do like being born in May, because it's not hot, but it's not too cold either. As I am a bit of a whip when it comes to the old weather now. Yeah, we'll skip that one, Mushroom. Back at the front, so just watching Benny now. April the 30th. Oh, I apologise, I was on May the 1st. Goodness me. That means that, no, you don't actually. I was going to say you share the same star sign as me, but I think that I used to think I was a bull. I'm full of bull, to be honest, but I thought that I was a Taurus. But I think they've changed it recently, so now I'm a Gemma or something like that. I do not know what it is then. 12th of May is Ruthless as well. Yellow flags, what's happened out there? As yes, only legends are born in May, so sorry, Mushroom, but you're out of this conversation. As someone's off, it's Kieran off the circuit, and unfortunately coming out of Toza. No, that's not Toza, is it? As We've also got Fester getting looted out to Mad Max as well. And goodness gracious me, we've also got battles there between us. I think that that's Immortal having issues with connection now. And I thought Flippy got past her, but unfortunately didn't. I'm losing my voice. A yellow flag in the top of the Variante Alta. It's Kieran off the circle again. And Kieran's off the circuit. He's recovering now back at the front. That is his team. These guys are battling for the lead. As on board with Flippy. Then currently trying to get past the Malta, but struggling at the moment there. Oh, goodness me. Pay attention, Sean. I apologise, Anthony. Goodness me. Just yellow flags out there again. It's the McLaren. It's having troubles. Markey is in the pits at a 10-second penalty, and Markey is out of the Grand Prix. And that's unfortunate for Markey. That's his second retirement in a row then, of course, after Saudi Arabia. Unfortunately, then, as Villash has got another 3-second penalty. Kieran coming in the pits as well, doing 22 laps on those hard tyres. But Kieran now kind of having issues. 2 stops, says Stars there for Emilia. I don't think 2 stops is the best way to go, because the overtaking you got to do is you just lose too much time. Because there's only one DRS zone around here. Everywhere else is kind of followed the leader, isn't it? 2 retirements in this one. Van Von and Markey both out of this race at the moment. Kieran's out of the pits now, 18 finished on a very young medium tyre, so he could go for fast enough for Kieran, but it's been a horror show for the McLaren Mercedes driver. And Villash there is now starting to come back at these drivers in front, but he has to overtake all 3 of them and then get out of them and then get 6 seconds in front then, which is certainly possible, but goodness gracious me, that'll be a big ask indeed, wouldn't it? I am losing my voice. What's going on? Performance review with Alex tomorrow, says actually, hopefully he can do Wednesday, because I would have had some chicken in half. Watching Lippy then come out of... to be honest, I don't think it's going to be too fun for me anyway, because I can't remember me corner names. I'm not watching the race there. I'm also missed. I also called a safety car, which is a non-existent safety car. It's been absolutely diabolical from me. Legends are out of Toza, as he's going to go for it. He's having a look there, but Legends gives him the space there as Flippy is lost out because the Ferrari is through. Villash is now up into third position there. Flippy jumped out to fourth, but Flippy will still be in third position because, of course, of that 6-second penalty. Lap 27 out of 29 here. Oh, my goodness gracious me. Taurus Diamond is my birthstone. Oh, so you technically are a Taurus, are you, Mushroom? Fantastic stuff indeed. I still get a diamond, so up yours. Goodness gracious me. And I don't think it's a 2-stop strategy, by the way, Styles, because I think you're getting stuck behind someone for so long then. Look at Mad Max. So Mad Max on fresher medium tyres, but as it stands at the moment now, he's only in 12th position there. He is gaining some time over over Chaza and co in front of him, but it's just not enough, is it? Unfortunately, watching Delano, they're getting very squirrely on the rear posterior, and Savasta's going to be loving that. Then the car sliding in front of him, so Savasta's going to be wanting to get past Delano in the next couple of laps, but both from very similar life of tyres out there. Medi still leads the way, and it's very much a slow burner at the front. Then it's one of these drivers is just waiting for a mistake from the other, and they're all starting to spread out at this stage with 4 laps to go in this race. And here is Medi, followed by Immortal on his return to ALR. Can he win on his second race of the season? That would be pretty fantastic, wouldn't it? My word there. Percy on a very lonely race in 5th position. Beast on his return. His debut in gold then in 6th position. Sweet, Delano and Savasta. Great job in 7th, 8th and 9th position out there. Surprised didn't play me since there's pressure. Oh, don't worry, that's after the race. Just watching Savasta then coming out to the back of Delano. And I gotta say, Delano's driving superbly well. In the Miami, Delano deserved points there. A couple of laps to go, just didn't go well. Chaza is now into the top 10 as May ran, of course, on much older, harder tyres. I say much older. It's only three laps, but those 3 laps could be crucial to the outcome of this Grand Prix. On board with the World Championship leader, Flippy, coming out of Accra Minerali. I don't know. I need to get me corners right. Tomorrow I'll have me trap map up, I'm sure. Mad Max has got a 3-second penalty for this one. Medi leads. Immortal second. Third is Village. Ayrton gets a penalty. Disgusting. 4th position is Flippy at the moment. This is the battle for the Grand Prix lead. This is the battle for the podium positions in this one. And I think that there is going to be some tears. There's going to be some triumph at the end of this San Marino Grand Prix. Nope, make that the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. I'm still in 2000. Only 2 retirements in this one, which of course is Marquis out of the race, and that's a big lockup. That's a major lockup. Then one of the Haas cars has gone off there. I think it's only a Vesser, sadly, as there's only 1 Haas left in this race. Savasta and Delano's dropped a lot of pace in the last lap or 2. He is 2 seconds behind Sweet, and that is the golden opportunity for Savasta to go for it. He has a look, but Delano slams the door shut on the toes of the Aston Martin driver into the pits. McLaren is off and at the top of the hill. Oh my goodness me, it's Harrison Tamburello, where he's seen a Van Von crash earlier on this race then. Medi into the pits. That is soft tyres then for Medi. Going for fastest lap in this one there as Kieran is trying to get out of that gravel, I think then, but he's really having a tough time then as he's reversing down the, well, now he's back on circuit and facing the right way. Goodness gracious me. Lap 29 out of 32 in this one there, and I must say that this is going to be a very tense end to what's been a very tense Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. As I think Kieran's tyres are very much on fire at the moment, as Village almost into the gearbox of a motor here. And look at how close these drivers are then. Of course, there's only a short run down into the Villeneuve chicane then, of course. So Village ain't going to have a go there. As going wide, he's off the circuit there. Again, a load of understeer from the back of that Red Bull. And Flippy now is going to strike whilst the iron's hot. Is he then accelerates the way up the top of the hill we come then. My word, Village is still in DRS and he didn't lose that much time. I thought he was going to lose more than that, but actually he's not lost any of the time at all. And somehow Delano is still in front of Savasta. Great defending there from Delano there. It's like, goodness gracious me, usually it's slam dunk with DRS, but Delano is harvesting for all he's worth now. Coming out of the Villeneuve chicane, and he's going for it. It's Savasta on the inside. Can Delano defend? Not quite. Yes, he can, because Savasta gets on the loud panel a bit too aggressively, and Delano keeps 8th position there. Savasta still in 9th there. A lot of drivers are going on soft tyres now. Out of the second Ravazza. 1, 2, 3, 4, all going for the Grand Prix win. Immortal there. I thought he was closer than that, but Flippy's quite close to the back of the Ferrari. He powers through and back into 3rd position there. Comes the championship leader. Next target is Immortal, the two drivers in front of him do not have penalties. So those drivers he needs to get past as Flippy. Flippy winning 2 of the opening 4 races this season. Immortal winning the opening race of the season. And then Medi winning his first ever race in the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix a couple of weeks ago. Then accelerates out of the second Ravazza comes Savasta, and now he is gaining again. Delano is somehow keeping this Aston Martin at bay, but now he's run out of deployment, and now Savasta's up the inside. He takes the lead into the Tamburello chicane. No, he doesn't. He takes 8th position. I've had too many sweets today. Savasta now into 8th. Delano down into 9th position there. Mad Max is through, passes Chaza. Mad Max does, of course, have a penalty. There it is, and it's a 3-second penalty for Mad Max. Mayran has set the fastest lap of the race there. Lap 31 out of 32. Look at the gap that Medi has got over Immortal. Immortal's going to be looking over his shoulder, I think, rather than going for attack here on the final lap. Then this is the final time then that the DRS is going to be on display then. But look, Medi is already he's out of DRS, but I think that Immortal will still have DRS, and he does have DRS still. Medi then down into Tamburello. Immortal with Flippy, and then we have got Villash in 4th position there. Percy in 5th, and that's right. Great drive from Percy. Beast in 6th position on his debut. Great stuff. Sweet rug recovery in 7th position. Sebastian in 8th position needs to get 2 more seconds out of Delano, who is driving great in 9th position. 10th is Mad Max there, but Chaza does not have penalties compared to Mad Max, of course. Oh, goodness me. Back in this battle here then. So Flippy is currently all over the back of Immortal. No driver of the day, says Styles. Throw it in the comments, my good sir. Who you want for driver of the day? I haven't got my second laptop up and running. Medi then at the top of the hill then. So Medi leads. Second is Immortal. Third is Flippy. And fourth is Village then. I must say, though, it does depend on who wins this race and who comes second and who comes third in this one. Because it is anyone's ball game, this one is, isn't it? There are the position changes. Percy probably would be my driver today, along with Chaza. Brilliant driving indeed then. Maybe even Medi out of the final turn, and Medi is going to win his second Grand Prix win of his career. He wins the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix, does Medi. Absolute perfection in terms of race pace and performance. Vesha gets the pass up of the race. Well, Vest here probably is going to feel hard done by that he didn't get a top 6 in this one. So a top 10 in this one. Kieran's now got that fast lap point as well. Medi, his second Grand Prix win of his career in ALR. And my goodness gracious me, he's taken 10 points out of Flippy in the Drivers' Championship there. So the gap is down to 10 points then between Flippy and Medi. So this could be a race long, this could be a season-long battle then. As of course the driver of the day vote is out now, ladies and gents. Of course we're waiting until the very end of this one. And Medi punching in. Well, he's going to be punching the air and delight in just a jiffy. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Oh, gosh. I'm gonna feel good after some California for tomorrow. Goodness gracious me, no, that's cough medicine with clout. I might have some. What helps the throat? Subies, isn't it, or something like that. Maybe I should get some Calpol. Woohoo, says Percy. Great job from Percy, and I think would be my personal driver of the day, but I've lost the driver of the day vote, which is not very good. How do I get it back down? How? Oh no. Ah, there it is. Percy with 56% of the vote. Medi with 33% and 11% for Delano, who also, actually, I'm splitting my vote then between Percy, Delano, and Medi because because I'm coughing out. And that's shocking, isn't it? Goodness me, I'm just sat on the fence tonight, don't I? Never thought I'd see a day that P5 would feel like a win from Percy. But great job indeed for Percy. He drove superbly once today, Percy did. He might have felt a bit on his lonesome for some of that race, especially in the latter stages of that one. But great drive from Percy. Great drive from Percy, from a Beast as well. And from Delano. A great 8th position from Delano. Great stuff indeed. But it's Medi who's going to be claiming the applause with his second Grand Prix win of his career. Immortal on his return. First and a second. Not a bad start to his season. season then. Flippy in third position. The gap has now been lowered to 10 points to himself and Benny, who's coming at him, isn't he? Paul Sitter, Villash only fourth today. Percy drove the day in fifth. Beast on his debut in sixth with Sweet seventh. Delano in eighth. Savasta in ninth and Chaza in 10th position. Mad Max in 11th with Legends in 12th. Mayran in 13th with Fesser in 14th. Nameless 15th. Emerson 16th. Ayrton 17th. Kieran Fast up in 18th position there. Marquis and Van Von retired from this San Marino. Nope, make that Emilia Romagna Grand Prix here tonight then. Absolutely incredible stuff indeed then. From all the drivers that got to the end there. And Mehdi, you're a two-time Grand Prix winner now, and an absolutely supreme drive out there today. And I got to say then, it looked like a simple one-stop strategy, but how difficult was it to put into execution today?
Yeah, I think one-stop strategy was not that hard tonight, but it was matter of the hard tires for last laps to fight. So it was important still to get a fresh heart for rest of the stint. So I think the pit stop options were from lap 11, 12, or 13. I chose 12 because of the race strategy, and it went well for me.
And towards the end of the race there, was you hanging back ever so slightly so that you had a bit of tire life towards the end then? Because you did mention there the perfect time was coming on lap 12 then. Was you hanging back, keeping your rivals behind him in DRS set, but just to give yourself a bit of extra life on those tires? Was that what you was doing, or was you maxed out?
Actually, in here, I think to win a race, you should be first or second. So I knew that the track position is so crucial for me. And when I saw Immortal is doing undercut, I was so happy because in the next lap, I could do the pit stop, get in after in scene two, and just keep him in my DRS so I can defend Flippy and Vilus with fresher tires. So my plan was to just keep Immortal in my DRS throughout all the race, also managing my tires till the end. And I know in the dirty air, the 1 or 2 lap fresher tires that Flippy and Vilus got gonna fade away in the last of the race. And I think such a thing happened. They couldn't do anything in last 5 laps of the race. So I was so happy to keep the Immortal behind me in my DRS.
Jordan, beginning the race then, was you, I know lap 12 was the time he was coming in, but was there a time where he was thinking, let me come in the pit lane, let me trigger this off now, so I can then keep track position, or was track position not a key factor today?
Of course, of course. As I told you, like you should be one or two to win the race. It was such a surprise that Sleepy and Velus didn't respond to Immortal undercut. I think like they were so confident with the pace, but I didn't give the track position. Like I saw that if I want to just keep in the track for one more lap, I'm gonna come out P4, and there is nothing I can do. Like what happened to Felipe and Vilus today. So it was my best opportunity to lap 12, pit at lap 12.
And then, of course, and after that, then was it? I would say it's quite straightforward. Keeping a mortar on your DRS, then is probably easier said than done. How difficult was it to manage the pressure? Because of course, this is also a 50% mind game in terms of the game itself. How difficult was it to keep yourself cool and calculated so you didn't miss your breaking points, knowing that Immortal, Flippy, and Bastas are all on your gearbox?
Yeah, of course, it's so hard because it's not only keeping Immortal in my DRS. I should manage the gap to be 8 cents or 9 cents, so he have the space to fight with the cars like Felipe or Vilus. Otherwise, I would be get a double overtake. So it was so hard constantly looking at it and at the up of the monitor to see the gaps and stuff and manage the gap to be 8 or 9 tenths. So, but I think I did it pretty well. So I'm happy tonight.
And of course, in terms of the bigger picture, you're only 10 points behind Flippy now in the Drivers' Championship, give or take a point, depending on my maths. Is it too early? I think we're on round 4 or 5 now. It's only a 17-round season, but now are you starting to think this is my championship? I'm going to be fighting for this championship there, and is that where you're going to start to change your approach to races?
Yeah, like as we are going through, I think the V as V4, I think me, Flippy, Brabbit, and Vilus, or I hope like Farhad gonna add, Immortal gonna add too. Like I think these championship fight gonna be so exciting. So if I see like such a pace from myself or other from my opponents, I should work harder because even today it was like strategy wise I won the race. Felipe and Vilus, I believe they were faster than me. They were so much faster than me. It was matter of the strategy they couldn't do or get me. So I had to work on my pace so much. These guys are training. These guys are practicing so much every week. So if I want to keep up with them, I have to do the same.
Oh, I'm loving that. Rather than stay, Mehdi. Great job to your second Grand Prix win of the season and of your career as well. Magic stuff indeed. Flippy, you finished third today, and as we've heard from Mehdi there, he felt that you had stronger pace today. Is that? Do you agree with that? And if so, where did you lose it today?
Um, I'm gonna keep it simple. Yeah, just lack of pace at the end of the stint because I couldn't stick close to the motor because it was lagging like crazy. So then I couldn't kind of stick close to him and size up and move into the main straight. So then that just kind of messed up my strategy entirely because I think normally I would have the pace to make a move if I managed to stick within like let's say 2 tenths ish on the onto the main straight, but that just wasn't the case today because of the lagging in front and just couldn't really stick close. And yeah, qualifying wasn't ideal as well. My last lap was invalidated, but I think it would have been enough for pole, but yeah, and then that turn one kind of happened. I don't know what happened turn one. I just the game just kind of let me go, and I just stick with it and then back out, I guess. But yeah, just not the best of races, but I still take the podium today.
Yeah, talk about turn one actually, because all of you ghosted into turn one, and I was talking about it on stream about that's possibly quite frustrating for you guys to defend and attack. Then, talk us more about that turn one and ghosting. And do you feel that how frustrating is that for yourself as a driver to see all your rivals ghosting?
I mean, for me today, it wasn't frustrating as I gained some positions, but I think it's just the game's problem because like it happens on basically all league races I do nowadays. Just I don't know if it's just a me thing or just for everyone. Like into turn one for most races, everyone ghosts for me if if I am still like inside the car before the braking point. So then that's just a kind of a normal thing for me. I don't think it should be allowed, but like that's just the game being well F125. So yeah.
And of course, we heard about Medi coming into the pits on lap 12 when you extended your stint by an extra 2 laps. Did you think that potentially an undercut might have been on the card today, or was you always thinking about going for the undercut?
No, I think Overcoat was always the strat because my tire deck isn't the best. Anything earlier than lap 12 would be risking a puncture on the hard stint. But yeah, I think Overcoat would have worked today if I could have stick closer to Immortal in the last sector, last couple corners. But that just wasn't the case. And I mean, I don't think it was a bad decision to stay out 2 laps, I think. Yeah, 2 laps longer than Immortal. But looking back on the deck that I had in the race, actually, like at the end, maybe I should have boxed earlier. But either way, like I don't regret my strategy decisions today. It's just unlucky with the internet issues, and yeah.
And of course, the gap is now down to 10 points of the Drivers' Championship. Then, at the moment, it's just between you and Medi, with Brabbit missing this race and the next race, which could be crucial. Immortal coming back, and also we've also got Mayran. When he gets a clean pair of heels, also could be up there as well. How are you feeling then coming out this race? Then is this points lost, or is this actually points gained over the rest of the field?
It's definitely points lost. Like my mentality now for the rest of the season is just like one race at a time, and I prep and I target every race to like win, and that's the mentality I want to hope for. But like a podium is it's like of course it's good in this kind of top six, top seven ish. And yeah, like I would take today's result, but if I keep losing points to the other championship contenders like this, then it's not looking good for me for the rest of the season. So I think hopefully next week I can bag a win again, or just not lose points to the other championship contenders mainly.
brilliant stuff today, Flippy. Great job for third position. Great job for Mehdi as well, getting his second Grand Prix win of his career and season as well. It may not sound good for Flippy, but it sounds good for me and the rest of you guys viewing at home. And that is great for gold. Then it is very much up in the air. Then Flippy leads the championship by 10 points. Immortals made a triumphant return to finish second today. And then, of course, we will thank you for return as well for Mehdi and Mad Max. Great stuff indeed. Not Mehdi, Mayran. Goodness gracious me. I had some quality street today. I'm absolutely all over the show. I don't know what it is. And also, I blame Mushroom as well. Good stuff from Percy today as well. Getting draw today on a fifth position. Great to see Percy rekindle some of that old pace. And can he get that? Can he keep that going as well? Also, Delano, my personal draw today. Superb job to 8th position. I love it. Tomorrow night, the Silver Surfers will be in action then as the championship is so close then. The top 9 is separated by a win then. 23 points separates first to 9th position then. KD leads the championship then going into the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix tomorrow night with Tori second, Potstuff in third position, Junior in fourth position with Riley fifth, Reflections, Camarisa, Besser and Knowlesy, all the top 9 then within a Grand Prix win. I cannot wait for silver tomorrow night. We'll see you at the same time, 7:30 UK time. I'm going to bed. Goodbye.